a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique, and everything in between in the Pacific Northwest sports world. I'm Jamie Council. Thanks for joining me.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-City's leader in sports.
Welcome to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-City's leader in sports. I'm Jamie Council, and we're joined by Laci Tolar from the Tri-City Raceway. It's a big weekend for you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Jamie. It's a huge weekend this weekend. We're very excited.
And that's because the ARCA Menards Series West coming to the Tri-City Raceway, powered by Toyota for the NAPA Auto Care 150, presented by Vic's Auto Care. Got to get all those plugs in there. A lot of fans to put this together. And over the past couple years, you have had the ARCA Menards West Series at the Tri-City Raceway. That is such a special race. So tell me a little bit about the prestige that comes from an ARCA Menards Series West race.
So having an ARCA Menards Series West race is really big for not only our racetrack, it is big all around our community and our region. It puts Tri-Cities and West Richland, Washington on the map because it's tied to NASCAR. It's the beginner, step into NASCAR. And so you have NASCAR Regional that covers it, and you get a lot of publicity around that and around the racetrack and the venue itself. There's people that fly out from all over the United States. I think I've seen about 5 or 6 tickets that were sold in Florida, which is kind of cool. So we're bringing a whole bunch of people all over the United States as well as Canada into our region, and that's huge.
They heard about the Trioval track in the Tri-Cities, the fastest half-mile track, and somebody that won it 3 decades ago was Greg Biffle, and that's kind of a really cool story. Tell me a little bit about Biffle's return to the Tri-City Raceway.
So we were fortunate enough to have Greg Biffle come last year to the event for the grand opening or the re-entrance of the series to the track from the last 20 years. So when he came back, it was absolutely amazing. And he feels like he had unfinished business. And we asked him, we said, are you wanting to come out this race? He said, find me a car. And yes, I want to go race. And so Joe from Sigma Racing, the team he was with last year, was like, let's do this. And so they're coming, and he's ready for round 2. And he's ready to win at his hometown track, one of his hometown tracks.
Yeah, and that's a big name, somebody that has gone on to the next level. So it's kind of cool for those young up-and-comings. We'll have a couple of them on later in the show because, of course, they're trying to get to NASCAR. And then you have Biffle that has, raced at the Tri-City Raceway, but has also gotten to the top being a NASCAR veteran.
Yes, absolutely. So Eric Johnson Jr. is an up-and-coming name. He's actually from Washington State, and he has a full ride for the ARCA Menards Series West. And he's from La Center, Washington, and he's great. And he's raced with us a couple times other than with ARCA Series. So he knows this track pretty well. And then we have Tanner Reif. His brother, Tyler Reif, his younger brother, Tyler Reif, won the race last year. And so they have a chance to make ARCA Menards Series West history by, if he wins, winning back-to-back consecutively. 2 brothers, same team, same crew chief. So there's a lot on the line here. So I'm excited to see it.
And we'll have both Tanner and Eric on later in the show. But Laci, you are such a big part to make things go at the Tri-City Raceway. So tell me a little bit, what's on your plate over there?
Oh, goodness. A little bit of everything. Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to my family, my husband and my kids, because without the support that they give me at home, I wouldn't be able to do any of the jobs that I'm able to do. But the team that we have at Tri-City Raceway, from facilities to maintenance to getting everything ready, I mean, without them, this show wouldn't go on. I do more of the business side, the back end side, and the promoting side. I'm a third generation promoter. My dad is a promoter. My grandfather used to promote Tri-City Raceway from the 80s till 1998. So it's deeply rooted in our family, and it fit, it's part of the DNA, the genetics. So it just worked out well. And I love the chaos. I mean, that's what it is. It's controlled chaos, and it's fun. It's really, really great job for me. It keeps me on my toes. So
And how is it working so closely with family? Because of course it is a family trade.
So I love working with my family at the racetrack. My dad has another business, and I worked for him there before. But the racetrack is a happy place for him. So we get along so much better at the racetrack. And we have a great relationship. And my grandpa's still alive, and he always puts in, and tells me, Laci, you're not doing this, or make sure you do that. And so, and he's a wealth of knowledge. So we like to listen to what he has to say. So
plenty of knowledge there. And tell me a little bit about what fans need to know as we transition back to the big event happening this Saturday at the Tri-City Raceway, the ARCA Menards Series West. What do fans need to know? Because you also have a practice on Friday.
Yeah. So we have a free practice for fans to come see on Friday. The gates will be open, so fans are able to come and watch for free during that. On Saturday, August 9th, that's race day. Gates open at 4 p.m. And racing starts at 6 p.m. At 6:35, we're going to have Fan Fest on the front stretch, and you have an opportunity to meet all of the drivers of the ARCA Menards Series West, including Greg Biffle, and he's going to have hero cards. He's super excited to see the fans and to sign, to do autographs, to take photos, all the things. He's very excited about that.
And where can people go to get tickets or learn more about the event?
Yeah, sure. So if you go on to racewashington.com or tricityraceway.com, you can get tickets there. I highly suggest that you get tickets in advance because they're starting to go fast at this point. If for some reason we don't have a sellout, we will have tickets available at the gate, but we will keep you updated on social media about if we're sold out or not. But here in the next few days, the tickets have kind of been flying. So I highly suggest if you want to come be a part of this event and this history to get on to tricityraceway.com and come join us.
So that's this Saturday. And final question. I love the story about the Tri-City Raceway. And just the upkeep, it is brought back to life. Just, I guess, briefly tell me, remind people about the story of the Tri-City Raceway, because it's very volunteer driven to make it happen.
In 2021, we signed a lease for this facility that was dormant for, I want to say, about 18 years. It had no grandstands. It had no, it was literally just a piece of asphalt, just, dying to go racing. The city of West Richland had purchased that land for the police department and had asked a group of us if we would like to, reopen it. And it's a whole group of people that volunteered all their time and have put into the facility. So much work. I can't even explain how much work. And it was all out of their pockets. No taxpayer money went into this build. And everything that we make from these events goes straight back into the facility because we're not done yet. I mean, there's still a lot of things that need to be worked on. So it's a work in progress, but it's been beautiful to have such an awesome team just, going together and working together. And it's a dream team, and we're making that dream happen by reopening that facility. And you don't see that very often across the United States. You see tracks closing, you don't ever see any reopening. So it is a big deal. And it's also a big deal for Western Washington to know that we are the nation's only half-mile Trioval racetrack in the whole entire United States and possibly the world. So, and it's right in your backyard. And that's amazing.
And people can watch it this Saturday with the ARCA Menards Series West going on at the Tri-City Raceway. Race promoter Laci Tolar, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you this weekend.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
When we come back on the Sports Council, we'll hear from Tanner Reif, brother of last year's winner. That coming up after we hear from our sponsors. Again, you're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Fall is coming early to Krispy Kreme. Starting August 11th, Pumpkin Spice is back with our Pumpkin Spice Cake and Pumpkin Spice Latte. We're still escaping to Italy through August 17th, but pack your bags because Hogwarts is next. Starting August 18th, try our magical new Harry Potter donut collection. 4 house donuts plus a special sorting hat donut. Need a sweet school fundraiser? Krispy Kreme makes it easy and profitable. Just ask in store. Visit us at 2805 Duport Tail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth. Leave with a smile.
Is your water softener doing its job? At Soft Water Specialists, we understand the importance of clean, efficient water treatment systems. That's why we offer our annual maintenance program to keep your system running smoothly year-round. Our certified technicians perform a comprehensive checkup and calibration to ensure optimal performance and longevity, finding potential problems before they arise. With Soft Water Specialists, you can say goodbye to water problems and hello to hassle-free maintenance. Visit softwaterspecialist.com or call us today to schedule your service. Soft Water Specialists, because we want to make sure your water is working for you.
Looking for a great deal on a new Chevy? Now you can get more than a great price. You can make a difference. During Wheels Make Wishes Come True at McCurley Chevrolet, a portion of every new vehicle sold helps grant wishes for local Make-A-Wish kids. Save big on bestsellers like the Chevy Silverado, Traverse, and Blazer with special APRs, cashback offers, and exclusive McCurley pricing. Big savings, bigger purpose, but only for a limited time. McCurley Chevrolet, your way home.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
You're listening to Jamie Council on the Sports Council.
Welcome back to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Well, we're talking about the NASCAR ARCA Menards West Series happening on August 9th at the Tri-City Raceway. That's this Saturday at 6 o'clock, and we're joined by Tanner Reif. How's it going, Tanner?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, and people might say Reif or Reif if they're mispronouncing your name. Sounds familiar, and that is because your younger brother won it last year.
Indeed. Yeah, I was just watching the race earlier today, and, it's really beautiful out there. I got to say that. That's the first thing I'm looking forward to is the sunset looked great. But, he did a really good job. He held his own, and he had to work for it. And, I'm hoping to do the same here this weekend.
So it's not that often that you have brothers that both race, and if you win this year, it'll be the first time in the ARCA Menards West Series that two brothers have won.
I think it's pretty cool that he's out there doing his own thing. He's running the national series now. Usually it was me being the older brother taking the first step forward and and racing all the new series and trying all the new stuff. So now he's stepping up. He's going to go try it out and see how it is. So, it's really cool that we get a race together and we get to, chase our dreams together and, hopefully succeed together and win the same race. So that'd be really cool.
Having you guys push each other, how is it kind of help because of course you never want to be outdone by your little brother?
Well, yeah, there is that. There's always the brotherly pushing each other, which is, I think, why, we're not to float our boat, but I think we're both a really good race car driver. And I think it was having each other that made us push to this level. But it's really nice because there's someone to console. And, I called him during watching the race. I said, hey, you got any tips for me? Like, I've never been to Tri-City. What's the move? Where do we got to be? Fast on entry, fast on exit? Where's the passing line? Just a little stuff. It's stuff that we've talked about our entire lives, but it's nice because it's just always someone in your back pocket that's got your back. That that understands the sport you're in and that's able to help you grow. So it's always really cool to have that.
The Tri-City Raceway is definitely a very unique track with the Trioval. What did your brother tell you about what to prepare for?
Well, I can't give my secrets away. No, no, he said entry speed's really important. We're not going to be saving a lot of tires. We get tires at the halfway break. So push hard and, make sure you get down to the line. That's going to be it, is pushing hard down the line, good entry speed, and just all around good balanced race car.
Okay, can't give all your secrets.
Yeah, not all of them. I'm saving a few in my back pocket.
A little bit, it's a give and take, and you are having a good racing year in the ARCA Menards Series West. You have 3 wins, one of them being this year. So what's been the key to your success? Because sometimes, you can get those top finish, those, close to top finish, but you never really get over that cusp. But that's something that you've been able to do multiple times.
Yeah, it's really staying consistent. When you're able to stay consistent to be in the front, then you get the opportunity. You're not always, just because you do everything right, just because your team does everything right, that you're going to be able to win. But you're given the opportunity to be in the position. And as long as you make all the right moves, hopefully with a little bit of luck, you can secure the win, and that's kind of the goal. Is we need to get a few more before the end of the season. We're second in points right now. We're chasing that championship win. So hoping we can clock off a few more, because in that position, you get more points than anybody. And that's the goal, right? So going all the way to the end.
Absolutely. And that's what I was going to ask next is, second in points, as well as this is a race that, your brother won last year. So there's just, I guess, a little added juju.
Just a little bit of pressure. Yeah. If I don't win it, then I'm definitely going to get a phone call. It's like, come on, dude. It's the same car nonetheless. Same car you drove last year. So it's going to be, hopefully we can do a little bit of deja vu. That's the saying now.
So you have a team that knows the car, knows how to work on the car, and tell me a little bit about the team, because you're the face of it, but a lot of people making it happen.
That's the thing, is it's a group of guys. It's a group of great guys out of California, and they work really hard on the car. Michael Munez is a great crew chief. I think we broke a couple records being, he's worked with my brother as well, the only crew chief to win with a pair of brothers, I think, since 1979 or something like that. So it's cool. We're all like a little family, as you would like to see, as you grow together, you work together, it's hard to put a word on it, but you see these people every few weeks, and everyone's always there, like all the teams being, so that's the big family. But you go there with your guys, and they support you, and you support them. At the end of the day, it's about being able to point the fingers at everybody, including yourself, and to be able to work with them to collaborate to make the great effort being a race win. So that's what it's about. Great guys, great people, and working good together. You live in Las Vegas now? Henderson, but it's basically Las. We're 30 minutes from the Strip, so it's basically Vegas. Home of the Silver Knights. Golden, Silver and Golden Knights, and now we got the Aces. We're knocking every single sport off. It's just, hopefully, we get our own NASCAR team here eventually. No. but you get to travel to the Tri-City, so we'll chalk that up as a win. So how did you get into the sport of racing? Obviously, both you and your brother very involved. Yeah, originally I really wanted to race because I saw we had pictures around the house of my grandpa who used to race sprint cars, and I just 4 or 5 years old was like, Dad, let's go do this. And, he already had his fingers wrapped around it, kind of had a premise of the idea. We are not racers, but my my dad's father was, my grandfather was. So, he's able to tell them where to start. And then it started with quarter midgets. And then it grew from 1 car to 2 to 3 to 4 to, 10, 11 quarter midgets, Tyler getting into it. And then it just, became a lifestyle. You start and then you just never stop. And it just kind of becomes literally your life. Like, it's everything I live for. So that's the fun part.
So Tyler Reif won this race last year, and Tanner Reif hoping to claim it this Saturday. Tanner, what would a mean win to you besides being able to, tell your brother I did?
Yeah. Besides being, you could do it, I could do it, whatever. It would really, really mean a lot to not just me, but the team and my family. This isn't it's not an overnight success, as my grandpa would like to say. It's past 10, 15 years of working towards this goal. Every race win's not a check mark, but, kind of a progress point where you know that you're working hard towards a goal, and hopefully you can keep getting those wins, keep making those progress marks. That's how I feel about it.
Well, best of luck this weekend and safe travels to the Tri-Cities.
Awesome. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you for time.
Again, that is Tanner Reif racing this Saturday for the NAPA Auto Care 150 NASCAR ARCA Menards Series West race at the Tri-City Raceway. Gates open at 4 o'clock. Racing starts at 6 this Saturday.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
Fall is coming early to Krispy Kreme. Starting August 11th, pumpkin spice is back with our pumpkin spice cake and pumpkin spice latte. We're still escaping to Italy through August 17th, but pack your bags because Hogwarts is next. Starting August 18th, try our magical new Harry Potter donut collection. 4 house donuts plus a special sorting hat donut. Need a sweet school fundraiser? Krispy Kreme makes it easy and profitable. Just ask in store. Visit us at 2805 Duport Tail in Richland. Come in with a sweet tooth. Leave with a smile.
Looking for a great deal on a new Chevy? Now you can get more than a great price. You can make a difference. During Wheels Make Wishes Come True at McCurley Chevrolet, a portion of every new vehicle sold helps grant wishes for local Make-A-Wish kids. Save big on bestsellers like the Chevy Silverado, Traverse, and Blazer with special APRs, cashback offers, and exclusive McCurley pricing. Big savings, bigger purpose, but only for a limited time. McCurley Chevrolet, your way home.
Living in a rental shouldn't mean settling for poor-tasting tap water. With Soft Water Specialists, you can have pure, clean drinking water in your home easily and affordably. Our countertop filtration system removes impurities, improves taste, and fits perfectly in any rental space. Plus, it can produce hot or cold water. No big installations, no hassle, just fresh, crisp water. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and love your water again. Soft Water Specialists. See why we have a 5-star rating on more than 600 Google reviews. Visit softwaterspecialist.com and love your water where you live.
Listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Welcome back to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Well, we're covering the NAPA 150 Auto Care ARCA Menards Series at the Tri-City Raceway this weekend, and we're joined by Eric Johnson Jr. We'll be racing this weekend. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. And it's so fun to see all the talent come into the Tri-Cities, but you're regional would be a good way to say. You are Washingtonian. So tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from, that will bring you into the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, so I'm from La Center, Washington, little town just north of Vancouver, and got my start out here. So it's really cool to see NASCAR coming back up into the area and to be kind of representing that out here this weekend is a fun story for sure. We get a lot of locals who come out and people we've raced with in late models and the series I started with when I first began back in 2019. So it's really, really exciting to be racing up here in Washington.
You've really skyrocketed in your career.
Yeah. So when we started I started for the first time in anything in 2019. And then our debut in ARCA in this series was in 2023. And it's crazy to see how much it's snowballed. I mean, I've been very fortunate to have a lot of help around me, right? And a lot of people as mentors and things. But yeah, we've actually now this year alone, we've had, I believe, 3 or 4 top 5 finishes in just this year alone. And now we're best finish of second place. I mean, just right there, one more spot to go. It's, as somebody who just came from a lifetime of being a fan, it's kind of bizarre to think that we're that close to actually winning a NASCAR race.
I want to get into that, but your background is so much different than other racers. We talked about this before we started recording, that it's kind of crazy that the first time you started racing was in 2019, where most people, they start on the little go-karts or even before then, driving the tractor in their yard, which you probably did, but it's just a lot different of a path. So how does that affect you as a driver where you're started in 2019 and now you are an ARCA driver?
Yeah. I mean, everyone comes in their own different way, right? And they're starting really young, like we mentioned. I mean, kids are in go-karts at 4 or 5 years old these days. And so for me, I grew up just surrounded by racing as on the fan side of it, going to races with my family and here sitting behind me in my room. I mean, I got my racing simulator that I would do hundreds and hundreds of hours of laps, never knowing that it would actually lead to driving a car, right? But that kind of built the foundation for me. So when I jumped in 2019, just like I said, the foundation was there, and then I had to build off of that. And it's been, like I said, a steep learning curve. There's been a lot of big learning moments, but for me, it's just trying to expose myself to as many of those as possible, as early as possible, I think was key. And so I've been really fortunate, thanks to our partners and my family, to have a lot of chances of being right, behind the wheel and being in a lot of different situations where I think it's helped speed that curve up. And I was just having this conversation with some folks here that I race with, and I think our next race is my 54th oval career race, like in my oval racing career. And the driver I was talking to in the same series is just over 1,000. So trying to bridge that gap, you can imagine it takes a lot of effort and time behind the wheel, and really becoming kind of, studying the sport and becoming a student of it.
You talked about it, how close of a finish you've had, that you're doing really well, but you've never gotten the top finish in an ARCA race. So what would that mean to you if you were able to get it at the Tri-City Raceway?
I would melt, to be up here in the Northwest, let alone just winning, say, a NASCAR race in the ARCA series. It's something I've dreamt of since this started. I mean, that's what drove the very beginning and all the hard days, right? When you're feeling down or on your own and just having to push through, the idea of that is what keeps you going. And, with our team, Jerry Pitts Racing, we've had glimpses of speed and had moments where we were so close. I mean, finishing second earlier this year at Tucson, you couldn't ask to be any closer, right? So, in that moment, I thought I'd be excited just to finish second, but I was standing there looking at the winner and I just thought, God, all I want is to be right there. So it would mean the world to me. It'd mean the world to my family. But all we can do is go out there and try our best and hope it works out.
And you said you would melt, but you also might melt because of the Tri-Cities heat, what this area for in the summer. How does that affect the race for you as a driver with the heat that you see in the Tri-Cities?
Yeah, it's something not a lot of people consider. When you're talking about driving race cars, a lot of people think about the physical factor and the athleticism that goes into that. But the thing that often gets overlooked is the heat. I mean, on average, it's 30 to 40 degrees hotter in the car than it is in the ambient temperature. So if we're racing in 90 to 100 degrees, it's going to be 130, 140 degrees inside that car, fully suited. I mean, that alone is pretty brutal. And then you talk about sitting in that for hours on end, the importance of hydration, just physical fitness, your cardio health, that a lot of that plays into it. And I think by the end of the race, the guys that do their part in that process, the mental focus they can have in the end versus some of these other drivers who maybe aren't as well prepared, it can come to show pretty quickly. So I myself, it's been almost a gallon of water a day this week, just trying to start building that hydration and supplementing that with some other factors, electrolytes and things to try to stay on top of it. But when you get there, it's nothing you can do is going to make it more comfortable. You got to bear through it, but the more prepared you are, the better result you're going to have in the end for sure.
And you kind of mentioned this earlier, that having a NASCAR race in your home state. Can you expand on that a little bit, just what it means to you?
Yeah, I mean, as somebody who started out on this journey as a fan, the closest race to me for a long time was down in Sonoma, California, when it comes to the NASCAR stuff. And, to say that you have to drive 2 states away to get to the closest event, there's a big market missing out here. And so now as a driver, kind of jumping over that line and seeing it from the other side, you can see the clear and obvious benefits from a PR side and marketing side, right? Especially being from up here, it's a really beneficial for me and my partners because a lot of them are from here. And so getting to share that opportunity with them up here in their home state, another one, Portland, Oregon, we have a race there next month, to be right in that same kind of vicinity up here in the Northwest. It's really cool to see NASCAR putting that spotlight back up here because, while I am one of the drivers that's lucky enough up here to be doing this from the Northwest, there is a lot of talent up here that just doesn't have the same resources or backing or opportunities that I think the more we can push the spotlight up here to the Northwest, the more it's going to help those folks get running and find the right connections and maybe have an opportunity like I've been fortunate to.
Yeah, to find a team, to find funding. Of course, the further away the race is, the more money it takes to get there.
Exactly.
So having it right in your backyard. But talk about what the beast, the Tri-City Raceway is.
It's wild. I don't think there's a great word to describe it on its own. I mean, a lot of race fans know NASCAR for going in circles, right? And it's, a lot of the tracks we're racing in the series are shaped like your kind of average high school running track, just a little bigger. And this is anything but that. It's shaped like a triangle. You're almost continuously always turning. It's high speed. So the one straightaway you really get onto, you're flying. And it's high banked. It's the same surface that's been there for almost 2 decades. So when you talk about just the factors that play into that, tire management and the driver aspect, it puts a lot of different jobs and responsibilities into the driver's hand, which as a driver, that's all you can ask for because, you want to be the deciding factor out there, right? And the more things that you can play a role in, the better, right? If you do your job and do your homework. So for me, it's really exciting to go back to Tri-Cities. I've had a couple chances to run there before, but just the unique characteristics this place brings to the table, you are not going to find anywhere else. So it's one of those places you just kind of have to jump in the deep end and go figure it out.
You're the face, of course, of Eric Jr. Racing, but a lot goes on behind the scenes to make the wheels turn, pun intended. Tell me a little bit about who does that for Eric Jr. Racing.
Yeah, I've been so fortunate to have so many people play a role in it. And I wish I could name them all, but we'd be here for hours. My family is obviously number one, just being there. My parents, most importantly, my fiance, she's been, there every step of the way, the ARCA stuff here. And just having that support from them is, something I'm very lucky and fortunate for. But, obviously, to make this world go round, we got to have the financial backing. And we've had a lot of luck with some of incredible partners coming out. Pacific Office Automation jumping on as the title sponsor, Sherwin-Williams, Paul Davis Restoration, Valleyscapes Landscaping Solutions, and Product 41. They're all partners that go into making this happen for us. And I'm really fortunate to be able to represent them out there, hoping to get them in victory lane where they belong this weekend. But yeah, just feeling very lucky these days, to say the very least.
Well, safe travels, and we'll see you in the Tri-Cities at the Tri-City Raceway.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So NASCAR's ARCA West Series NAPA Auto Care 150 is this Saturday, August 9th. Gates open at 4 o'clock. Racing begins at 6 o'clock. For more information, go to tricityraceway.com. Well, that wrap up this week's show of the Sports Council. Thank you for joining me on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. A reminder, the Sports Council happens 4 times a month, 11:30 a.m. on Thursdays. But you can listen to this show not just over the airwaves at 11:30 on Thursdays, but also on demand at 1340ESPNradio.com via podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, just search for the Sports Council, and it's also available via YouTube. So lots of ways to listen to the Sports Council and support our local sports community. Until next time, I'm Jamie Council. Now we go back to your originally scheduled Seattle sports program.